Hello. So, I just finished recording the Blackhawks video. Pretty much my main points were it's been a rough last month for the Chicago Blackhawks. I still love my team. They're my Blackhawks. They're my hockey team. I still got to enjoy 3 Stanley Cups. The first one, however, because of all the stuff that's come out, it feels a little wrong. But 2013, 2015, I will celebrate that as much as I want. Those were amazing cup runs. As for the leadership, fuck Stan Bowman. Fuck anyone complicit. Coach Q, it hurts. I got to meet the guy. I got to hold the Stanley Cup in 2015. And of course, that cup was not tainted at all by the stuff in 2010. 2010 Cup, that's debatable. But I don't think we should, have any. Don't revoke. That's stupid. I think massive fines should be in order. $100 million donation towards sexual abuse prevention charities. A lot of them. And probably a $22 million fine would be more appropriate, not 2 million. 2 million is fucking pocket change. It's like fining a guy $5, pretty much. Nothing. Fucking Devils got a bigger fine for doing a little tomfoolery in the draft. Sad, but my Blackhawks will recover. Every team has rock bottom moments. This is the Hawks, without a doubt. Rock bottom. Now, anyway, on to sports. Football. Week 8. Wowzers. Let's do this shit. Um, Now, this is a really full game. Only teams on the bye are the Ravens and the Raiders. So we had a full 15-game slate. Only 2 teams are off this week. A lot of football. A lot of good matchups that I can see going either way. Let's start. Well, Bears are playing the 49ers. Much better game. But, of course, I always say that for last. Let's start with... why not? Let's just start this way. Bengals at Jets. Now, if this were like 2 years ago, this would be a totally different story. But now, actually, no. 2 years ago, when the Bengals were like 0-13, and the Jets were so fucking bad. Yeah, they gave the 7-14 Bengals their first job. Now, the Bengals are 5-2. I think on top. Yeah, they're on top of the AFC. They would get the bye. They are a playoff team. They are playing like a playoff team right now. The team the Bears beat pretty good in week 2. It's a totally different team than what I'm seeing right now, and I'm all for it. Congrats, Bengals. So there's no surprise. I'm gonna pick them to win heftily. 32-13. Bengals win. Next, Titans and the Colts. Both teams that are resurging. The Titans are at a whopping 5-2. Colts. This is a divisional matchup. This may decide the fate of the division. If the Colts win, they'll have a much better time. But I think if the Titans can win this, this will make winning the division way much easier. Because not only will they'll have three win game, because they'll have a tiebreaker over the Colts. So it's like I think this is a must-win game. Must-win game for the Colts if you want a chance of winning the division. However, a wild card, I think one wild card spot will be open if you can compete with uh, the Chargers, and yeah, that's about it. There's gonna be one wild card spot open because I see these 2 teams clobbing up the 2 wild card spots. So there's gonna be one open for one of these teams in the division to get. Probably gonna be between the Patriots, Chiefs, Chargers, and the Colts. Other teams, for obvious reasons, no. But I still see I think the Titans are going to humble the Colts and win 27-21 in a close game. Colts prove they can be competitive. Next up, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Brownies. Cleveland Browns coming off a sloppy win. The Steelers coming off a okay win versus a very bad Seattle Seahawks team. I can see this going either way, but I just feel like they're gonna give 110% beating their. This is like the Packers or the Bears of this division. Brownies at the Steelers. Ever s- ever since that absolute blowout in January, I think the tides have been turning. It is the Browns' time to run this division, at least in the wild card. So I got Browns by 10 points. 35-24, 11 points. Brownies win. Next up, a rematch of week 2 with the Buffalo Bills coming off a rough loss versus the Titans. I think they're going to bounce back. The Dolphins just don't have anything going for them other than the Deshaun Watson trade that isn't even official. I thought it was because I read a lot about it on Twitter and Facebook. Let's check on. Let's check this out. Let's see what's going on with this. So yeah, they apparently have agreed on a trade, which is like Tua's. I feel sorry for Tua. He doesn't deserve the hate he's getting. I'm not gonna call him a bust though. I think you get him to the right team. Like I know he wants to go to Washington. I'd be better off there. Washington, Giants, a QB needy team. They'll actually treat him right. But it's not confirmed yet. But it's leaning more likely that. But even then, he's not gonna suit up on Sunday. Most likely, it's way too short. It's pretty much already Thursday. So yeah, for that reason, I'm gonna pick the Bills to just wreck shit up. But I do believe the Dolphins are gonna get points on the board this time. 42-17. Bills. Huh. Next up, Patriots at Chargers. Patriots are coming off an absolute ass whooping of a win versus the Jets. And I know it isn't saying much, but to beat an NFL team, keep in mind, NFL players, no matter, even if they're on the worst team, are still in the top, like, 1% of 1% of football players in America. They are the best of the best to even be on an NFL team. Um, like, even the worst NFL team would beat the best college team. So it's just like, to beat any NFL team by 50 plus points, not just 50 points, 54 points, and they easily could have put on 60, is just a testament to how bad the Jets are and how this Patriots team is going to do better than last year. What did they do? Like 6-11 last year? They're going to finish better than that. I guarantee it. 8-9 wins, possible wild card berth. And I think it's going to start with this. I think they're going to upset the Chargers, another good team who I think is also a really big contender. These two teams are going to be the major fighters, I think, for that wild card spot. So this game may determine who gets that spot and who doesn't. And I think the Patriots, Bill Belichick realizes it. Bill Belichick realizes, hey, what happens if they lose the game? Oh, they still have the tie. But it's just like, Bill Belichick realizes that he's not going to win the division. The Bills are going to run this division for a while. And he also realizes the Jets and the Dolphins are not a threat at all. Not too worried about. So I think he's just going to focusing on keeping up with this team and possibly these two teams and Nothing else. And winning these divisional games. Because if you lose these games, you don't have to worry about them catching up to you because they're so fucking far behind. But you should worry about that loss coming back to haunt you. Like, you can afford probably 3 losses. That's about it. Maybe 4 in week 18 if you already clinch. But no more than that. My final prediction for this game, it's going to be a good one. Very defensive game, very close game, but I'm going to have the Patriots edging out the Chargers 21 to 20. Next up, the LA Rams versus the Texans. Now, Texans got absolutely shat on versus a superior Cardinals team in every way possible. They started off a bit strong and did a scoregami, which is cool. And for that, I reward them. Congrats, Texans. You gave a scoregami, probably the most you're going to contribute to the NFL this season. Um, but you're playing against the Rams. Now, the Rams had a sloppy game versus the Lions, but the Lions seem to do that. They have a talent. They are the best 0-7 team I have seen in a while. And I think they honestly, if the Lions were to play the Jets, if they were to play, they can probably beat 5 teams easily. I can see them blowing out the Jets and the Dolphins and the Texans and Jags. They, while they suck, they do suck. They're gonna probably get swept. Maybe they might pull off an upset versus the Vikings or something. But nah, I don't see that. I think they're gonna get swept in NFC North. The Packers, not a threat. The Vikings are gonna deal with business. They're gonna get them. But I would not be surprised if they have a lot of close games. But I don't think they're gonna go winless. But it's just like compared to the Lions are in a much better situation than the Texans right now. Texans are one of the rock bottom teams right now. They are in an awful situation alongside the Dolphins. I think they're just going to start to tank now, and I think the Rams are going to deal with business in a hefty way in a 38 to 17, 13 blowout. The Texans have just been shit out of luck playing the the best, the 2 best teams in the NFC and the entire league back to back. There is no chance. They just suck. They suck. Awful. Sorry, Texans, but it's true. At least you have the Astros. Like, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna care. The Astros just won game 2. You got a World Series going on. I'm pretty sure the 1-7 Texans are not really on their minds. I also got the Dallas Stars. I was in Dallas. You have the Rockets. I don't know how they're good they're doing, but yeah, you're losing this game. Next up, Jags and Seahawks. I don't. This is actually a difficult one. It's. I'm gonna be rooting for Jacksonville to win because it helps the Bears' playoff position a bit more. But they're only like they're only a few games behind. They're 2-5, 1-5. The Jags have been getting a little bit of momentum. They keep things close, but the Seahawks have just been abysmal. I'm gonna go bold here. I'm actually gonna pick the Jacksonville Jaguar to win this game. I've changed my mind. I just the Seahawks are collapsing right now. If I were them, I would just tank. Wait till Russell comes back. Russell's not gonna be back for like what 8 weeks or something. But I think this is gonna be a very narrow win. 24 to 21, Jags win, and they're one they're one upset win of the season. If they're gonna upset a team, it's gonna be the Seahawks. Next up, the Washington football team at the Denver Broncos. Um, Denver Broncos beat up on really bad teams, and the Washington football team is a really bad team. 2-5, like the entire NFC East, NFC least. Um, I for that reason, Uh, this is hard, actually. This is going to be a close game. But I'm going to actually head to Denver Broncos, righting the ship a bit, getting back to 400, and taking a dub on the road by a touchdown in a very, very sloppy game, 21-14. The Giants at the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs have been sloppy, but people got to remember Patrick Mahomes is out. I don't even know who the backup quarterback for the Chiefs are. I think the Giants are going to have an upset again. I'm actually going to say that the Giants are actually going to upset the Chiefs here, and their spiral is going to continue. Mahomes is out, and if I'm being honest, Mahomes carried that team. So I'm going to say Giants edge out in a very sloppy game, 17-14. Next up, the Green Bay Packers versus the Arizona Cardinals. What a good team. Now, this game, people are saying it's going to be a blowout. I disagree. Packers are a really good team. But with a lot of their good weapons out, the chemistry is not going to be there with Rodgers, and just the momentum the Cardinals have. I don't see them losing this game. But it's not going to be a blowout. The Cardinals are not going to win like 35-13. But I do think they're going to put up points. 32-24. Cardinals win. Yeah. So Cardinals improved to 8-0, which last season would clinch them a neutral or non-losing season. But this year they'd have to win one more next week to clinch a winning season. So they improved to 8-0. Packers fall to 6-2, which is still a really good record. Next up, the Eagles, the Lions. Now, Eagles aren't really a good team, but the Lions are really, with the way they're playing. If I'm a Lions fan, I want the tank to continue. You are in hefty position to get the tank, to get that first round pick. But the Eagles will make it. This is gonna be a tank bowl. I think this is gonna be a really good tank bowl. But I have the Philly Eagles taking the dub here, even though I'm gonna be rooting for the Lions because the playoff thing. I don't want any other teams catching up to the Bears. We're in the ninth seed right now. The Falcons would get the seventh seed if they win that game. But yeah, Eagles. But yeah, Eagles. I'm gonna actually have the Eagles winning a sloppy game, 26-21. Okay, not that many points. 21. But I hope I'm wrong because I want the Lions to win a game or two. But they deserve the first round pick. They probably get it with one or two wins. Next up, we got the Panthers at the Falcons. More Halloween games. Panthers have fallen to shit. Lost 4 straight. It's been rough. A divisional game versus an equally bad Falcons, but the Falcons have been looking better. They've been more consistent. They haven't fallen apart, and I think that is going to be the key to their victory. And I think the Falcons are going to actually go above 500 for the first time in a very long time, in a very close 32-31 31 game. Next up, Tampa Bay Bucks at the Saints. It's got to be the Bucks. There's no debating about that. If, however, yeah, Bucks, Saints, Bucks coming off a 38-3 win, which seems to be a good omen for teams. Um, the biggest story of that game, it got so out of hand, such a blowout that they literally spent half the game talking about a guy getting a ball. I don't see them regressing back, even though the Saints are slightly better than the Bears, better record. I see them still taking care of business. 28-17. Bucks continue that dominant run, and they're pretty much a lock about a play for the playoffs alongside the Cardinals and the Rams and the Packers. The final game of the week, not counting the Bears, because we do that one last always, is the Cowboys versus the Vikings. Now, Vikings are a decent team and stuff, but I gotta say the Cowboys because of how dominant they've been and how the Vikings are known for choking away games. I see the Vikings coming out strong, but the Cowboys come back that Prescott throws for 3 or 4 touchdowns, and I think the Cowboys win 30-31 to 21, and the Vikings fall to 3-4 and out of the playoff race. Well, it's only week 8, so that doesn't really matter much. The playoff race really matters around starting week 15. By week 15, week 14, we know who's actually going to be contending in the playoffs and who's already out. Of course, these teams are pretty much already out already. So here is the week 8 predictions. Let's check the playoff status. Postseason probabilities. Cardinals are already 99. Bucks 95, 93, 90, 93 again. Chargers 81. Rams 95. The Bears are at a 33% chance, which is better than I thought. Let's check the Bears playoff status. So we'll have a 78% chance of losing the playoffs. If you win next game, you go to 4-4, which I see us doing. Um, if we win out, we'll have a. If we win out, we're gonna go 13-4. So I don't see us. So pretty much our best bet is going 9-8. We'll have a decent chance. Maybe even 8-9 we might squeeze in, but I think 10-7. That's our goal. That's a good playoff chance. 11-5, we'll pretty much be in. And then where's the draft? The draft order, Lions are a 41% chance. Um, to win. Then the last place, Cardinals. I don't even think it's possible for them to get the first round pick. They're 7-0. They're going. They're zooming. The Bears right now are projected to take the. Hmm. But yeah, here's the chances. Of course, Lions are all but eliminated, and pretty much every team below. Pretty much every team below this line is all but eliminated the playoffs at this point. These teams still have some chances. Patriots have some Bears. Every team above this line, I'd say, is all but a lock. They got good chances, but I could be wrong. Here's my predictions for Week 8. But first, let's finish off with the Bears at the 49ers. Bears coming off a really rough loss, but there's a lot of bounce back attitude. Nagy's not going to be coaching COVID. He's on the hot seat. There's a good chance he gets fired during the bye week. I hope. Um, 49ers coming off a really rough loss against the worst team with worst record, the Colts. Embarrassed, lost by 2 scores. Um, the Bears are getting some good weapons back. Larry Broom might be back. It's at home on Halloween. Justin Fields usually plays well after bad losses. He played really well versus the Lions and the Raiders. And for that reason, I'm actually going to pick the Bears to win 27 with one defensive touchdown. 27-20. 27-20. Bears win. Bears improved to 4-4 on the season, but are still out of the playoff race because of the Saints win. Well, actually, no. Saints are right now. That's the playoff picture, and that is Week 8. Now, thank you for watching, and have a good time. Go Bears!